In this episode, I want to go a little bit deeper into time, and I have two sequences in the whole movie where I play really with all the options to get my timing in the way I want to have it. And that sounds maybe a little bit picky, but when you make a music video, timing is even more critical than maybe in a documentary or somewhere else. And you might know that from motion graphics, timing is really critical. And of course, here in this picture, we have a landscape inside with a city behind. We have a billboard where we have time-based footage, so we can't play a lot with that, but it's disconnected, of course. It came later in After Effects. Same with this billboard here. The billboard by itself was never in this landscape as this one here. You might know this billboard from another tutorial a while ago. And this is illuminated just in Cinema 4D and a little bit with HDI. Anyway, the idea here is, of course, to get something like cars into the scene and to have them always in a natural tempo, speed, whatever you like. And the idea was, of course, I had no idea when I was on location when I want to use this, where in the whole clip, and I was not certain when I want to change from one billboard to the next. So that sounds like a big question mark all over the place. And the truth is, I talk here about few seconds only, longer or shorter. And that might be not so visible here with the cars, but this is an example where I try to explain what I have in mind and to put the whole scene into parts and have them finally in a way that we can adjust the time without sacrificing here anything of the traffic or of the video billboards is the target. So we can fine-tune the camera move and we leave all the real footage exactly in the right timing. So I show you that here again. We go here from one billboard to the next and the traffic stays here. So that sounds maybe simple, just a little jib arm, a crane or a dolly and a little bit movement, and there you go. Some people would do this even with a zoom lens. I'm not really a friend of zoom lenses because there's not so much parallax in it, but a mixture is sometimes very nice, of course. So I want to go one time back and forth so you get the idea. I guess you have seen this music video already once or twice. And I want to go now directly into Cinema 4D because I need to show you how this was set up because it's not really visible, or maybe you have a very good eye to see it. See you in the next part. Here you can see already the whole setup and you will see maybe some secrets already given away. I don't want to point too much to them, but as you can see, it renders relatively fast and that works for HD or if you like 4K as well, if you have prepared all these pictures. These areas here on the left and the right, this is not video footage. This is an image from a 5D. And you can stitch this, of course, so you get, if you like, huge resolutions. And the city here in the background is also just an image. And I have extended the buildings here down so we can move the camera in the way we want. Because from the point where I am here, exactly roughly 30 feet over the highway, I have no idea exactly how high I was, you can't really make too much motions there, and I had no permission to film there, so it had to be very fast before someone stops me there and filming from a bridge. Anyway, what I want to show you here is, of course, that we had the option here to go from one billboard to the next. I think that's not a new trick that I show here. You will ask yourself, what is he talking about? But exactly the timing between these two billboards was critical because I wanted to have a very specific rhythm in the video. So I could have done this, of course, on location, as I said in the last part, and film maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 times and choose then among all of these versions. But to be honest, I was not really clear how the whole music video will look like while I was shooting here. And so I wanted to keep every options open and the idea was, of course, to make tutorials out of it. So I'm always between these practical, make a music video, and make tutorials about this. And so I ended up with exactly this construction here. So the truth is, you see here only in this area where I go here with the mouse around, this is the practical footage from the video camera. So if you would shoot this here with 4K, you could zoom perhaps even inside of that. And I say zoom, even if I don't like zoom so much, but there would be enough resolution. Or perhaps 6K if you have that camera. And it will go maybe even crazier in the next years. And the sides here, you could just take a panorama, means 5D, for example, with 20 something megapixels, and stitch images together. Then you can have here really high res and you can do whatever you like. The models here, they are just models, and so resolution independent except for the texture on it. And in the background, the city is not that big of a deal because it's in the background. It's already a little bit blurry, but to shoot this here maybe with 3 or 4 images stitched together, you get easily any resolution that you want to have. Okay, let's have a look how it looks really. And for that, I go here into my default camera, and that's the whole trick. Here we have the area where the traffic is, and I have here even a little bit of the green stuff. And here we have another part of the green, and then the city here in the background. So I had everything nicely separated. And the billboards are empty because I used, of course, an external compositing tag to fit this finally in After Effects later on. And so I could make even way later changes inside of that. And the whole idea was here, of course, I wanted to have the video footage here independent from anything else in the scene. And so I composed here exactly this picture and another picture for the parallax, so I can move the camera, and there is a little bit change inside. Not too much, because normally where the movement is the eye, and that is on the billboards, on the street, and nowhere else. And of course, some people will look very critical now into the green, but is that really the reason to make a music video? To figure out where is a mistake, where is something a little bit sloppy? I don't think so. So the idea here is, of course, to make something that pleases the eye for these few seconds here, just where you go out, you see the traffic, you see the big city and in the background, and then you go here already into the next. There is not so much time to see exactly where's the seam, where's the parallax. Is here parallax, or is here, or is there? There is something, and that is normally enough to convince us. And I say this from a cinematography standpoint. And of course, wherever movement is, traffic, billboards, there are the eyes normally. And if you have watched it the first time, try to remember where you have watched. If you really were looking, where's the parallax seam here or so? And this is, of course, something that I encourage you to look now, because you want to learn it and you want to make it perhaps better. But the truth is, most of the time, a lot of sloppy stuff is not visible, and when you watch feature films the 6th or 7th times, you will maybe see many things where you thought, wow, I haven't seen it in the first place. That's exactly the trick. Okay, so you have seen how it was set up, just with some planes here, a little bit bended, and here you can see the billboards. They are also just in the scene, and that's pretty much all. And the idea here is, of course, go to the timeline, select the camera that you want to have, and stretch it in the way you want to have it. So from 192 just to 392 or whatever you like, and you have exactly that timing. And you don't sacrifice any natural movement here. I think I repeat already here myself, so I stop now. Thanks for listening. Have fun with it. Bye-bye.